The feeling and the confidence were high since the first laps in FP1, but you know that also adds up to the tension, I will say, because you do FP1 and you are very fast. You do FP2, everybody looks at you because you are the fastest. FP3, you are the fastest again by a bit of a margin as well, especially in the first part of FP3. So everybody is pointing the finger and you can feel that as a driver, but it's the excitement that I like. And coming into the qualifying, it wasn't easy because we had a very late engine change.
Very happy, yep. I think Q3, there's always the little bits here and there that you think you can improve, especially around here. Normally when you say that around here, that's when you end up in a wall. So, no, very happy with it. I think, Charles looked very strong all weekend, and to get so close, I think is a good effort.
I haven't been, at the top of my game this weekend. I'm struggling with confidence with the car. Had a lot of bad moments out there during the whole weekend, and in the end for quali it's all about closing the eyesight, going for it, which is what I did, and I managed to pull out a couple of decent laps, which are still a bit far from where I wish I could be.
I'm happy with fourth in the end. We had a scrappy Q1, and I got some of the debris that was on the track. The stickers have been coming off, like something that shouldn't be happening in Formula 1. But anyway, that kind of ruined my Q1 and made it a lot more stressful than what it needed to be. But then Q2 and Q3, I think I was happy.
Yesterday was a really tough day. I wasn't feeling well, and then I had this big vibration on the car. So those two things together around Monaco is not what you want. But today I felt much more comfortable. Qualifying the car really came alive, and it was so close, 20 milliseconds to P3. So I'm pleased about that.
I mean, it was a big surprise to me, but yeah, it's just like driving on a nice edge. Every curve, I can't drive on the curb, to be honest. That's why we are losing so much time in Sector 2. I have to drive around everything while everyone else is just plowing over it. It's costing a lot of lap time. The car is like a go-kart over the curbs and the bumps, so it's just incredibly difficult,
We didn't barely make any changes. I was feeling great yesterday. Felt pretty decent this morning also, and then as soon as you get to qualifying, I think either everyone turns up and we turn down, or something happens and I basically lose speed.
For sure, much harder than expected. A lot of competitors picked up the pace quite a lot, and it wasn't easy to go through Q3 today, but able to squeeze out that extra milliseconds from the car.
Just generally, we've been in a good way this weekend. From FP1, we've been feeling confident in the car, and then also, what's different about this qualifying session to most is I felt like I could push. So a lot of the times, I feel limited by not being able to always push because I was damaging the tyres too much and overheating them. That's kind of been the story of the year so far, where I'll do a good Q1, but then I can't drive much quicker without overheating the tyres. Whereas this weekend, it just felt like every lap you could push more and more and more.
It was incredible, to first Q3 of the year for the team, and we knew coming here it was it is a track of opportunities, and took a lot of risk. Touched the wall way too many times, but it was just it was definitely worth it, and to make it to that top 10 we had to go all out. So very pleased for all the guys that we're progressing. Fortunately in Q3 we went a bit too far and touched the wall, I think, in the chicane, and we had a puncher, so could not do a proper lap, but all in all it's just satisfying to be back in that Q3.
That time it's my bad. And our fault as drivers, this time, because we had the pace as a team to get into Q3, probably to be near the top 5, I would say 6th or 7th. Unfortunately, I made a mistake in turn 1 and my lap was gone, and I almost went through with only one set of tires in Q2. So frankly, that's what it looked like all weekend, that we were just not quite good enough for the top 10. And my last lap was pretty clean in Q2, so I'm pretty happy about that. So it wasn't anywhere time left on the table, so unfortunately not quick enough.
I mean, that was my personal struggle today, was just getting everything out of it on lap 1. That's when the grip is there, especially from the rear. It's so important around here, so you really got to try and make that lap work. But yeah, I struggled honestly just getting the front going, and through that tight middle sector, I felt like that's where I was bleeding lap time. So obviously the others were able to, so that's where the struggle lied. Yeah, that's why, you know, we maybe gained 3/10, but not the 6 or 7/10 that we needed. So
I think P11, 12 was possible.
And how difficult are you expecting tomorrow's afternoon going to be around here?
It's always tough to overtake around here, so we'll see what we can do to try and pick something up.
But we didn't manage to get a clean lap on the second set again. So it's the 5th or 6th times this year. So not great. You know, I'm getting pretty annoyed with this, but the pace was there in the car. I think we could have been fighting for Q3, and Q3 around here you score points in the race. So pretty gutted again.
Yeah, a lot of traffic. I think that was a killer for our qualifying. I think I lost 3/10 out of 11 with a car just in front, and then another 2/10 in the last corner. There were 3 cars parked there starting their lap. No one to blame. I think they cannot vanish, you know, in the very last moment. This is Monaco, and the cars are very big. They cannot disappear. But yeah, we found ourselves in the wrong place at the wrong time today, and this is very painful here in Monaco.
To be honest, I feel like I've been driving well all week, and I feel like it was another good run at it. You know, traffic-free laps, and honestly really happy with the laps I did and the performance I got out of the car. Just unfortunate to be missing a few key components this weekend, which I think ultimately made a bit of a bigger difference than I was expecting.
I encountered traffic on my lap, enough to lose a couple of tenths that would have changed the lap dramatically. And unfortunately, we just didn't put it together. We didn't hook it together, and this is the result of it. Unfortunately, we are out, and yeah, it's quite a bad day for myself, because there's nothing we can hope for tomorrow. You know, we are completely out, and it's going to be quite a challenge to get back tomorrow.
I think the timesheet shows how tricky it was. I mean, actually, I can't blame of any traffic or any mistakes in the qualifying. Things were pretty straightforward. We just didn't have the pace on one lap, and it's a bit scary to see the gap that we would have needed to get into Q2. It's just out of reach at the moment on this track on one lap.
I mean, the laps were clean. There was no big mistake, which makes it even more difficult, because we are clearly lack of all-round grip, you know, front and rear axle. It's just not there since the very beginning. So obviously, yes, they couldn't see our potential, but this morning and this afternoon, we just couldn't get the tires, get the temperature, everything in the window, and unfortunately, we're just sliding around all the time.